Hey, what's up you guys, and welcome back to MVR, and a happy new year to all of you. With 2021 behind us now, it looks like CES is kicking off 2022 in style with a slew of new VR announcements that are absolutely crazy. Next generation VR technologies, new controller schemes, and PSVR2 news are all coming up. So without further ado, let's jump in. It will probably come as no surprise that the 2021 holiday season provided a massive boost to the VR industry. Both VR hardware and games did their best to entice consumers to choose them as the perfect gift. And it looks like nobody managed to do this better than the Quest 2. For the first time ever, search volume for the Quest 2 in the US exceeded even other major gaming consoles, like PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox. Keep in mind though that the search metrics are not directly representative of the numbers of sales made, but they do give a pretty good idea of where the market is going, and if these numbers are anything to go by, then the Quest is doing a pretty good job of pushing VR into the limelight. Speaking of the limelight, there's been a lot of hype recently surrounding the development and use of Pancake optics. The first headset to really show off what future HMDs might start to look like was HTC's Vive Flow, and while the form factor was certainly impressive, it was not really a replacement for full 6-DoF PCVR experiences. Hoping to turn that expectation around a little is Panasonic's subsidiary Shiftall, who unveiled their new Megane X HMD at CES this year. Megane X is said to include 1.3-inch OLED microdisplays, which feature a 2560 by 2560 per eye resolution rated at a 120 Hz. Shiftall says Megane X is designed around playing SteamVR content, however the HMD also includes a Snapdragon XR1 chipset, so it's possible that support for more simple standalone content might be added in the future. Fellow YouTuber Sadly It's Bradley managed to get a hands-on at CES 2022, where he stated that both clarity and brightness are actually pretty good. And while he wasn't able to move around in the demo, he was left with a favorable impression of the device. So if you're looking for a lightweight 6-DoF headset to take on the go, you might not have to wait all that long for the planned release date of spring this year, with the final cost yet to be determined but going at least below the $900 mark. So now that we're on the topic of new hardware releases, let's talk about another piece of hardware that was released by HTC, a Vive wrist tracker for the Focus 3 headset. And you might be wondering, wait, didn't the Focus 3 have hand tracking already? So what's this good for? Well, HTC has an answer to that. The idea is basically to have an accessory that can convert traditional 3-DoF controllers into 6-DoF ones. And they might be onto something here. Similar how the original Vive trackers provided a way for everyday items to be tracked using Valve's Lighthouse system, these new trackers could do the same for inside-out based systems, especially in the VR arcade scene where custom-designed experiences might call for the inclusion of some immersive shaped controllers. Speaking of more immersive controllers, Vive wasn't the only one at CES to announce new camera-based controllers. bHaptics, the company behind a range of popular tac-suit haptic vests for VR gaming, has announced Tact Glove, a pair of haptic gloves for the consumer market that will end up costing you $299. The gloves use 10 individual actuators on the tips of your fingers to deliver a sense of touch when combined with hand tracking capabilities on headsets like the Quest and HoloLens. The motors will activate when you place your fingers on virtual surfaces, but since the gloves only contain actuators, they won't actually restrict you from putting your hands through objects and walls. While it's not directly clear if bHaptics intends these gloves to be used with VR titles other than purely hand tracking based experiences, their other haptic products have enjoyed a pretty wide range of support, either by direct implementation of game developers or through bHaptics' own client. So I'm looking forward to see which games will end up supporting these gloves when they release. Now what's most likely the most anticipated piece of CES VR news is Sony's PSVR2 announcement. The company revealed the first details on its next-gen VR headset, which includes eye tracking, a 4K HDR display, and a 110 degrees field of view. And of course the official name for the device, which to nobody's surprise will be PSVR2. Now while eye tracking and foveated rendering tech has been available in high-end enterprise VR headsets for some time now, so far no major consumer class headsets have adopted the technology. Add to that the amazing adaptive trigger technology currently found in the PS5 controllers, which let you feel variable resistance, integrated haptic feedback in the headset unit itself, and we're talking about a truly next-gen experience. And unless Facebook beats Sony to the punch, PSVR2 will be the first in its category to adopt these, which will be huge considering PSVR2 will run on the PlayStation platform, meaning that not only Sony's own first-party IP titles are likely to fully utilize the technology, third-party developers will be more likely to include these features features too, since they now have a dedicated platform to target. And since Sony has been playing around with releasing more and more of their platform exclusives on PC as well, we might just see some of these VR games end up on Steam VR further down the line. Which perfectly transitions us to the newly announced PSVR2 title, Horizon Call of the Mountain. Horizon Call of the Mountain is in development by PlayStation Studios, Guerrilla Games, and Firesprite, and is set to be designed from the ground up to show what's possible with PSVR2. The short teaser that the company showed off though doesn't give a whole lot of detail, so it will be hard to tell what the final product will look like. It does however tell us that Sony is dead serious on ramping up their commitment to the VR market, and more competition will always be better for the industry as a whole. So catching up with the latest VR hardware announcements at CES is great and all, but if you already own VR hardware, you might be more interested to see some fresh VR content and games, which you can find in this video here. That's all for now, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.